Welcome back, guys. It's Krista and Aaron again here with another episode of Fear Fuel. Now, today we are going to be talking about the differences between regular haunted houses and full contact haunted houses. Now, as you know, Krista and I have been working in the haunted house industry for some time now, but Krista actually this is really crazy. You've got so much more experience in this field than I do.
I do.
So tell me what you know.
So first off, I like to travel across the country to go to haunted houses. As you're kind of well aware by now, we live in like Denver, Colorado. But every October for the last few years, I've made a trip to Utah. I don't know how or why, but Utah has some of the most kick-ass haunted houses I've seen in quite some time.
Now I know they've got different like rules there essentially. So the way our entertainment laws work here, we couldn't even have full contact haunted houses if we wanted to. It works a little differently out there. So what does full contact mean?
So full contact haunted houses are really cool in the sense that when you walk in, you don't really know what to expect. For instance, at some of the haunted houses I've been to, I have had potato sacks thrown over my head, and I've been picked up and carried back into a part of the haunted house and just dropped off there. And so I'm essentially going through it a second time. When I went back a few years ago with some people, a couple of them I think even went through a third time. If you were on property, you were not safe.
Nice.
I've also had chainsaws ran down my back. I've had people pull my hair, slam me up against walls. I've been locked inside of a coffin. It's a wild experience. You're not ready for those things when you think you are.
So I know we've probably already scared so many people away.
They're just
by now.
I don't know.
Hearing that is so jarring. You don't realize that there are actually haunted houses out there that do this kind of thing. Now, one thing to probably help people is, during your experiences, at any point did you feel that you were in any actual real danger?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Honestly, I almost felt like I was safer. I know that probably sounds really strange.
Yeah.
But when you go to a normal haunted house, you don't know what to expect. But when you go to a full contact, you still don't know what to expect. But you know that they can touch you. It's not like it's a surprising thing. You walk in knowing that they can grab your hair or move you or, do all these things. And there's only so much they can do. They still can't cause any physical harm to you. And if you get a piercing ripped out, it's 100% accidental. They never meant to do that. Definitely don't go with hoop earrings by any means.
Well, I can't imagine they would just pick anybody off the street and throw them in and go, touch everybody.
No.
I would assume there's probably, they got to pick certain people. They're probably running background checks. They're doing a lot of training.
Absolutely.
All the work that we've done has been at no contact haunted houses. And, you think about all the training that we've been through. How much training do those people have to go through? It's probably an insane amount.
I don't know the extent of how much they go through. But there was one haunted house a couple years back where we were kind of talking to some of the actors after we went through their haunted house, and they say they do training year round.
Oh, wow.
So it never stops.
That's comforting. It's really comforting.
No, it really is. So, I'm not sure if they did any off-season events throughout the year, but I do know that they said they do training all year round, from the time a haunt season ends to their new season. They're in there training their actors. And, in their haunted houses, I can't imagine that it's every single actor that can do these things.
That makes sense.
I know certain haunted houses out there do have child actors.
Creepy.
I've seen kids in haunted houses out there. That's really off-putting. I don't like children inside of horror movies, inside of games, haunted houses. They're creepy,
They're so creepy and they're unpredictable.
They're so unpredictable. You don't know what that kid's gonna do.
No.
And the words coming out of their mouth, all of a sudden they're empty and hollow and almost lifeless.
Now, I remember you told me that there were actually levels to interactions.
Yes.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
So one of my favorite haunts out there, their name is Castle of Chaos. Absolutely love them. And this is kind of the only one I've stumbled upon.
Yeah.
But their whole thing is 5 levels of fear. So based on what level you do, you get like a certain type of glow stick. You can have anywhere from no glow stick to like a stick that you hold and you can shine at any time. It's like a bracelet. It's like a full-blown necklace. And based off of what level you do, you can do anywhere from Monster Be Gone. So you walk through a haunted house where your actors are either at a distance or, you're kind of just like walking through an empty house.
It sounds kind of good for kids or maybe people who are like trying to ease their way into haunted houses. So that's a nice option to have.
Absolutely.
Not one that I need, but
no,
nice for other people.
But you can even go in to these full contact haunted houses, and have like an average haunted house experience. And not like average, like it's not scary, but like it's like going to any haunted house around here where they can't touch you or
just
move
run
you or
up the
anything.
mill.
And then like the next level up from that is they can do like light hair touches like this, or kind of like lightly touch your arm.
That could be freaky.
It could, if you're not expecting it, just like a nice, I don't know if it's so much as nice, but
I can see how that would be eerie. I mean, that's something you've seen in like horror movies where you're just like unsuspecting of things, and then to not expect anything and all of a sudden have your hair brushed. It makes you uneasy. So, in this setting, it seems pretty normal, but you change that setting to a haunted house one and it's completely different. So I can see how that would be eerie and creepy.
And then their next level up from that is, your full contact. They can touch you, grab you, lock you in coffins like I've had 2 years in a row.
I'm into it.
I knocked it off my bucket list. It was like a weird thing, but it's off my bucket list now.
Get locked in coffin. Check. Double check.
It's definitely scary for somebody who is claustrophobic.
Yeah. That would really push you to your limit.
I'm not super claustrophobic, but definitely laying in a coffin, it's not only claustrophobic, but it almost has the fear of being buried alive. Living people don't go in coffins.
I feel like that's kind of like a good way, like even if you are claustrophobic, it's a good way to maybe almost help yourself with that. Because like I don't like tight spaces. I don't like big crowds. They really do freak me out. I totally get. I don't know if I would call myself claustrophobic, but I can understand how other people can be. But at the end of the day, kind of like how we talked about earlier, this is a business. These are people who have been trained. I feel like I'd be more comfortable having that person put me in a coffin as opposed to just spontaneously waking up in one.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a business, and that they want you to be safe and have fun and come back. So they're not going to put you in real danger because that cuts the experience of having a return customer. So I feel like that would be really good.
Well, not only that, but I'm sure in situations like that, they like chain sounds like I was actually being locked in, but I guarantee like a lock was never placed on that coffin. Because while they do these scary things, they do still have to be safe. So while you may feel like you're stuck inside this coffin, you're still never in any real danger. You're not going to die inside this coffin. If you say, I need out, they'll let you out. It's not like you're trapped.
That's good to know, because even if you're unsure if you can handle it, just being able to test yourself and knowing that you have that, that saving grace is nice, because there are times when you overestimate your abilities and, if you have to tap out, that's okay. These things are meant to challenge you.
Well, not even tap out. This haunted house is a really cool thing, If you're at that max level and you have that glow necklace, if it becomes too much for you, you just rip that necklace off. Rip that necklace off and you automatically drop down to the next level.
That's really cool. So it doesn't even end your experience.
No.
It just tones it down. That's really cool to know that people will give you that customized of an experience is really awesome. I feel like they pull in a really large crowd because they can adapt to so many different people. That's really awesome.
They really can. Their scale of who they can scare and how intense that scare is, it's really customizable.
Yeah.
When I went into that haunted house, I went in as a group of 3. And I'd say for 75% duration, I was by myself, which I really enjoyed.
I love it. It's spooky.
But there's definitely, you know, depending on what level you do, you can stay with your group, or you can get separated. You know, that's just all depending on what you decide to do and what you decide your experience is going to be like.
Yeah. I love getting separated. I remember recently at Haunted Minds.
Oh, yeah.
And we had that split hallway, and we were just like, yay, choices! I mean, we came together 4 seconds later, but it was still fun.
It was a good 4 seconds of separation.
It was really, really fun. Now, I know you already told us about being locked in the coffin. Is that your favorite experience, or do you have another one that you'd like to talk to us about?
That's definitely like one of my toppers. Mm-hmm. But one of my personal fears is being chased. I'm not about it. I really don't like it. I don't even really like tag. No. So my first time ever walking into a haunted house, a full contact haunted house rather, was Asylum 49 out in Utah, and this is about 4 years ago. So it was my very first time going in, brand new experience. I had absolutely no idea what to expect.
Yeah, I remember you guys telling me about this.
It was honestly probably the most terrified I've been in my life.
I believe it. I was afraid for you back here in Colorado.
When we pulled up, the 8 of us went. So we went as a huge group.
I was working.
So the 8 of us went, and we got like all of our tickets. And from the second you like get your wristband and your tickets, this full contact in particular is full contact. There's no way around it. There's no levels. If you're walking in this house, it's full contact. So we all got in line, and there is this child who's walking around. She's kind of looking at us, and she points at one of us, and then like disappears. And we're all like,
freaky.
What? And so this big, tall, like mass surgeon dude, because it's like asylum based, comes back and just like takes this girl and leaves. We're like, okay, so now we're being separated. So we get to like the front of the line, and the admissions lady kind of looks at us, and she's like, you 3 can go. Now keep in mind, there's 7 of us still.
Oh no.
And she took 3 of us. So that left the other 4 to, I have no idea. But so we walk inside, and we're like, okay, all right. And then we're walking for about 15 seconds. We stumble upon another, nurse lady. And she's like, 2 of you stay, 1 of you goes. And so my friend that was with me, she kind of looked at one of us, and then she looked at me. And she looked back at the other girl, and she's like, I'm so sorry. We're leaving you. And the other girl was like, all right.
Just accept her fate.
Yeah, she did. She totally did.
That's how it go.
And so she stays, and we walk into the very next room, and this nurse, she looks at us and she says, we're paired with like a 3rd random person at this point.
Nice.
So we have no idea who they are.
I wouldn't trust them. I'd be suspicious.
Absolutely not. But this boy, he was probably like 14 or 15. He was like shaking in his pants. I didn't know if he was going to make it. I didn't know if I was going to make it. And she looks at us, she's like, you have 3 seconds to run. And we're all like, what? She goes, 1, 2, and the 3 of us book it. And then all of a sudden, a chainsaw starts coming after us. There's a chainsaw 30 seconds into this haunted house chasing us down this hallway.
I'm into it.
And I thought I was going to pass out. Like, I was so terrified, lightheaded. After we got through about 15 minutes of this haunted house, my friend pulled me aside. She's like, you need a second. Like, you're pale. Like, you're really pale. And so I'm like,
that's true fear.
Oh, I don't know if I can do this. That was probably the most afraid I've been in my whole life.
Nice. I love it. Now, all of this sounds so awesome, but I'm sure there's people out there that still are unsure. What kind of advice would you give to people who haven't done this and are thinking about doing it?
Be prepared. Definitely don't go in ready to punch someone.
Oh God, no! For any haunted house.
For any haunted house, but a full contact.
Or any business ever.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't punch the cashier at McDonald's, please don't punch the little girl in the dollhouse.
If you're concerned about that, put your hands in your pockets or something. Distract your hands. But also just be prepared for anything. You know, like I said, I've had chainsaws, I've had people grab my hair, push me against walls, coffins. Be prepared, but also really, really know your limits.
Yeah.
If something
Be
is
honest.
too much for you, please let them know. You know, I cannot stress that enough. They will make sure you get through it safely. You know, if at one point something does become too much for you, they'll help you out.
Yeah. Well, this all sounds really exciting. I know you plan on going again this year.
Yes.
And I will definitely be
I'm
there.
making her come.
I'm gonna work it in, and we're gonna go, and I'm gonna go to my very first hands-on, full contact haunted house, and I'm really excited.
Maybe she'll be locked in the coffin.
I hope so. Now, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You know, I can help, but if it's full contact, Krista will definitely be able to help. We love what we do, and we want you guys to love it too. And if there's a question that we can't answer for you, you know, talk to the specific haunted house that you're thinking about going to, because they're happy to help as well. So definitely do your research, reach out to us. But thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned because you're going to want to see us go to those full contact haunted houses. But thank you so much for joining us, you guys, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.